England have named their squad for the 5-match test series against India, which is starting towards the end of January. And a couple of new faces in there, a couple of old ones as well, which has raised an eyebrow.
What strikes me is that they're going to have to hope that Ben Stokes' knee has been repaired and they can bowl. So the bowling looks a little bit light, I think.
Let's get the thoughts then of former England fast bowler Steve Harmison. Hi, Harmy.
How are we, boys?
Not too bad, thank you. Well, I'm probably a bit better than you at the moment, but we'll come on to that in a minute, Steve. We'll kick off talking cricket. And Shoaib Bashir is one of the new faces in there. I mean, there's a couple of new Test players, but he's hardly played any first-class cricket. But what he has, he's looked impressive, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a young man, just turned 20, very tall, uses all of his height and his action, bowls at a decent pace, off spinner, gets the ball to turn. I like what I see. I don't see Bashir going to play a frontline role in this tour. I think he'd be there more of experience. Hartley is somebody who would play more. Hartley might play in the first Test match. But I think Bashir's an interesting one. I'm pleased that England are going to give him some experience. They've selected 16 for the tour. And Andy's just mentioned about Ben Stokes. Rob Keys has come out and said that Ben Stokes won't bowl on this tour. The knee surgery was there for him to get his knee better, but he's not going to be in a position to bowl.
Okay, well, that's a bit disappointing. Jack Leach is back. That's good for him. He was doing well before he got that injury.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I think the issue for Jack is hopefully over, and he can get some bowling inside him before what is going to be 5 tough test matches for anybody, but for Jack especially, having been out for so long. They're going to play in some spinning conditions, and it's good to see that Jack's back and he's going to be the lead spin bowler, because it looks as though the squad that they've picked, 4 out-and-out seamers, 4 out-and-out spinners, that England are going to play 2 spinners and 2 seamers.
Yeah, I wish we had some more genuine pace, because the problem for England and India is if the wicket, if it turns, then it's much more in favour for them. Like Ashwin is a brilliant bowler, and Jadeja, and they've got another boy that played in the World Cup. I've forgotten his name now, but brilliant.
Kuldeep Yadav.
Yeah, Kuldeep Yadav. So, yeah, so it sort of favours. It's hard, isn't it? It's a very hard place to go, India.
It is a difficult place to go, and the problem I think England are going to have is balancing the sort of batting and the bowling, because whichever 4 bowlers England pick, none of them can really bat, and then that question mark over, is it Johnny Bairstow or is it Ben Foakes? That will also raise its head, because of which six batters do you go with it? So it's probably the best squad England could have picked. No surprise that Liam Dawson's not there. I think it's a different type of spin bowler I think you're looking for, and the 2 you've mentioned in Jadeja and Ashwin, 2 experienced cricketers that they are. They've also got Axar Patel, and I think England see someone like Tom Hartley, a bit like the Axar Patel that bowls that little bit quicker, a little bit faster, and somebody that with a tall action who is successful on Indian wickets. So when you see players who have taken wickets in England on English surfaces, it's a lot different to bowling on Indian surfaces and the way they turn. And I think that's why England have gone with the spinners they've gone with.
With that in mind,
we've still got Mark Wood, haven't we? I missed him out.
We have got Mark Wood, who gives us the pace.
Atkinson, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. But Andy, when we looked at the squad, Andy raised a bit of an eyebrow. Jimmy Anderson. I mean, you'd probably tell us about his record in India. What do you make of that? Did you always think he would definitely be in there again?
Yeah, wants to give him a contract, and once Jimmy said, "I'm not going off with my best mate Stuart and into the sunshine and of retirement." Once Jimmy was available, Jimmy was always going to India. He gives you control. That's the thing. The last time he went to India, Jimmy bowled brilliantly. I thought he bowled excellent in India. He bowled excellent in Pakistan. Jimmy gives you control. He might not threaten the outside edge as much as he does in England, but Jimmy will give you control from a seam bowling department. It looks as though England are going to go in with, especially in that first 2 test matches, they'll go in with Robinson or Anderson, and then one of Atkinson or Wood. So you might see the first test match going in with with Wood and with Anderson, probably your best two options, your quickest bowler. But for me, once Jimmy wasn't retired, Jimmy was always going.
And Root can bowl spin as well.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
true.
Quite useful.
Yeah, Root can bowl spin. Hartley might play in the first Test match. I know that we've seen a little bit of chunk of Rian Ahmed, and we're probably going to see a little bit more of him. He is, I think, is a special talent. And he will eventually, I think, turn into that number 8 that England possibly
he can bat
need.
a bit, can't he?
Yeah, he can bat a bit. So they're encouraging signs from England point of view, but it wouldn't surprise me the first Test match in Hyderabad or in Visakhapatnam that you see Hartley and Leach bowling in the same game, because of the pace that Hartley bowls at. He's a little bit different to obviously for Jack. He gets tall. He's a lot more bouncy, 6'4". He bowls a bit quicker. So even though the two left-arm spinners, they bowl in a different type of way. So it wouldn't surprise me in that first Test match if Hartley does possibly make his England debut.
The T20s get underway tomorrow in Barbados, and we lost the one-day series the other day. How much were you reading into that? Bit disappointing off the back of the World Cup.
Yeah, I was disappointed in the 50 over format. The bowling disappointed me more than anything else. I know we didn't get massive amounts of runs, but I didn't think we handled the big situations. The new ball at the start, apart from that one game when Sam got 3 wickets, I still didn't think we bowled great with a new ball, and I don't think we handled the pressure at the death. Some of our young bowlers. So it's a good learning experience. I expected us to win the 50 over games and thought the T20 games would be a lot closer. And when you look at this squad that the West Indies have picked, I think the West Indies are possibly slight favourites against what is a very, very good England side, more experience in the T20 format. But the power that the West Indies possess in T20 cricket now, they've gone back to some of them big hitters like Andre Russell, and obviously Holder's back, and you've got Rothman Powell. I think this could be a great one, a great T20 series this next 5 games.
Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.